What's kind of the focus coming into this week, knowing that you've played some really competitive games against Ohio State? They always seem to be a team that's
Pain in her butt.
yeah, hard to match up with. I mean, how do you look at that, and what are the reasons that has been that way for you these last couple of
You
years?
know what? You give them credit, first of all. Steve Rollick's an alum here, won a championship here, and I know it's Super Bowl weekend for them. And so we got to make sure we match that energy, and we're going to more so focus on us. I know that's dry, but we are. Take the goods from this past weekend. Offensively, we're starting to get stride again, but in the meantime, we don't want to lose our structure defensively, which at times we got holy and why we're giving up a little bit too much. And so now we got to find that fine line. And so we're going to spend the week focusing on us and make sure we keep getting better. But it was a huge step for us to find a way against Notre Dame.
That structure defensively, I know that's like you mentioned, it's a fine line. How do you increase scoring without sacrificing that? What do you think you need to get to in terms of being responsible defensively, but also like you were in the previous, earlier in the season, knowing when you can jump and make a play going forward?
The biggest thing is don't cheat. And so what we've been showing a lot of early in the week video for really the last couple weeks is the good on offense, but us again being on the right side of pucks, creating turnovers because of it, and not the hope play of where if it doesn't work, it's a 2-on-1 the other way. So really showing the good, the positive of what we've been doing well. And I thought Saturday was probably the most sound we've been in the third period. When we score a goal, go up, and I thought we defended pretty well throughout the rest of that period.
When you have, times when you're maybe not as connected as you had been early in the season, defense in the D zone specifically, does that come down to just communication, guys knowing where their help is, where each other are to make sure you're covering the right things there?
It is, and it was actually holy for us. It was different reasons. And when you go through the stretch we did for a month, at first you can look at our centermen and defensemen who are the guys usually below the dots defending. And when you're in a swarm defense, sometimes you just blindly run. And at that point, good teams are going to find an open guy. Minnesota found many times a third guy in the zone, so we had to clean that up. But then you talk about your wingers. Most D zone starts off as some type of rush, whether it's a dump puck or actually they possess the puck. Well, your winger's getting back inside and stopping in the most important area of the ice, which is in the slot. And we got holy with that where our guys were outside dots. And again, now they find a second or a third wave. So putting it all together right now, I thought our actual in-zone defense was better this weekend. It was more so a rush defense, not allowing odd man rushes.
How do you, balance the need for your goalies to be on a good mentality with challenging them that you need more? There has to be more of a consistent performance out of them.
That's a great question, and it's a hard balance. 20 years I've been doing this. I've seen different coaches take different approaches with it. I've been with Coach Hastings a long time, and there's goalies that I've seen that can take firm on, hey, you have to be better. I've seen other goalies don't handle that very well. And so it's getting to know the personality, what makes them tick, and then most importantly, us as a team, we've got to step up. We can't point a finger and say, hey, this is the reason. That's just too easy. And we had a little bit of that, I thought, as last year went along. We've got to be better as a team. We're starting to get more run support. Now we've got to get back and defend a little bit better, and I don't think we're too far away.
I'm sure you guys know, everyone in the room knows what the situation is like, big picture-wise, when you're talking about the standings, the NPI, all those kind of things. How much do you just kind of try and tune that out when you need to get into those 60 minutes and be focused on what you need to do instead of, well, what does this mean for what the standings are going to look like after it?
I think you have to. And you just look at it, and I'll go R.H. Peters when I played for him in Bemidji. He would always tell us, and as a player, it kind of went in one ear, out the other, but as a coach, it hits me on, you're never as good as you think, you're never as bad as you think. And so when we're going through that stretch the first half of the year, as much as you want to believe, you also have to stay humble in that moment because you can start to believe a little bit too much. But then when you hit a skid, which we did of 3 straight weeks, you're not as bad as you think. You're always somewhere in between. And so when you talk about NPI, all those things, it's about us right now. And that's where I say the finding a way against Notre Dame was huge because that did have implications. And for us to find a way where you blow a 3-goal lead, but then win it in overtime with a great play by Morrissey and Finley, And then the next night you feel like you're in a great spot, and all of a sudden you're down a goal in the second period. To find a way to score and make sure that you get the job done, I think that's a huge weekend for us, and again, a belief now on hopefully the bus is going in the right direction.
Do you feel like there's some guys that maybe have a little less weight on their shoulders this week too? Finley getting the goal, Tassie getting the goal. The guys that maybe had noticed that those games without one had been piling up, maybe have a different mentality this week.
I think so, and especially when you talk a guy like Tassie, and guys that work hard every day. They don't take shortcuts, and so that really starts to weigh on them when you're on the wrong end of it. And so really as the group, 5-on-5 play, probably excited us as much as anything, as I think it was 8 goals, 5-on-5, which has got to be the most that we've had, maybe against Notre Dame in their building, but it's been a long time since we've had that kind of scoring from our group.
All right, thanks. That's all I
All
got.
right, good, yep, thanks for coming.